All right, hello and welcome to Camel Finance. I'm your boy Camel, and Bitcoin is working on a breakout retest resumption of a falling wedge. And if you look on Twitter, you'll find a mixed bag of opinions. Some people are insanely bullish. This here suggests that we could be as high as almost $8,000 per Ethereum in October. So I mean, that would be quite an easy trend to follow, I think. I think this also might be a little ambitious, so we'll see about this. The market is still in extreme fear, albeit significantly less fear, with significantly higher reading than we were previously over the last month or so. We've been all the way down as low as 8, I think, or even 7, which is unusually fearful. So it's cool to see that this is slowly recovering. Of course, this week is earnings week, and the S&P earnings are still holding up fairly well as of early July. So these are the estimates, of course. We shall see how far above or below these are this week. From what I've seen, there's a mixed bag so far. Is there a positive surprise in the works amongst all the market pessimism? Well, quite possibly, but would I be surprised if we have to make one more lower low in the equity markets? No, I wouldn't. So we'll see. Bank of America's profits fell by 33% to 6.2 billion in Q2 compared to 9.2 billion in the same quarter last year. I know a lot of the banks are also under pressure. JP Morgan, Goldman. Again, there's some mixed bags. Some banks have done slightly better than expected in some areas. I know Goldman did better in bond trading, but overall, banks and other sectors are under some pressure at the moment. So the market is, I think, based on experience, going to chop around a lot this week, and I suspect that if we're going to break out, it will come on Thursday or Friday. I think the market will need a little while to digest the results over this week, and then likely if we're going to break out, I would see that occurring at the end of the week. The analyst price change indicator has marked bottoms on the S&P 500 since 2011, when the reading crosses below 130 and then comes back above it, and we've just done that as of last week. So again, things are starting to point towards having found a bottom for the equity markets, or at least being close to the lows. So we have to be open to both more downside, but I think too many people are bearish, and I think that we are getting close to some trendline breaks, and I'll show you that in the charts at the end of this video. The S&P 500 corporate insider buy and sell ratio is also in a heavy buying zone, and this has historically led to very attractive returns over the next 6 to 12 month time frame. And that sort of makes sense. Corporate insiders don't buy shares if they don't know something, right? In other news, the G20 countries have agreed on the need to collaborate on crypto regulation. This comes at a time when China is calling for a war crimes investigation into the United States and the UK.
联想到此前曝光的美国和澳大利亚军人在阿富汗杀害平民事件，美国及其盟友践踏人权、辱没良知的暴行，并非孤立存在的个案，而是长期系统性存在的普遍现象。据报道，2003年至2008年期间，有数以千计的伊拉克平民被英国士兵虐待，遭到拘禁、殴打、侮辱、性侵，甚至杀戮。美国表现则更加突出。近20年来，美国在阿富汗、伊拉克、叙利亚等多国发动空袭超过9万次。在空袭中丧生的平民最高或达4.8万名。收割中的农民、街头嬉戏的儿童、逃避交战的家庭，以及藏身于楼房的村民，都会成为美军杀戮的目标。事实已在表明，那些捍卫人权、吊门喊得最高的国家，恰恰是残害无辜百姓最多的刽子手。那些攻击别国人权状况最起劲的国家，恰恰是最应该坐到世界人权的被告席上。国际社会应当对美英犯下的战争罪行和侵犯人权行径进行彻底调查，还给那些无辜逝去的生命一个公道，让各国人民不再遭受任意欺凌和伤害。
At the same time, Hong Kong Central Bank has said that crypto and DeFi won't disappear and are likely to be important in our future financial system. The Central African Republic will hold Bitcoin as a reserve asset. The country treasury will have a dedicated Bitcoin reserve. Coinbase has secured regulatory approval in Italy, so that sounds good. This is coming at a time, however, when the flippening Binance has surpassed Coinbase for having the most Bitcoin of any exchange. People are withdrawing their Bitcoin from Coinbase, and deposits on the Binance exchange have only been increasing. This, of course, comes from fears of Coinbase potentially being in danger of collapse. And I'm even starting to see this on Twitter in certain places. The bearable bull here, Coinbase to go bankrupt. This is our crypto black swan. Remind me of this in 2 months. So maybe he's right, maybe he's not. The man has made a lot of really good calls in the past. So, although I'm not really sure what this is based on, this is probably just speculation. Remains to be seen. Anyway, don't trust any exchange, whether it's Coinbase or anything else. Trust no one. OKX, however, has obtained a license to operate in the United Arab Emirates. So while some exchanges might be in trouble, other exchanges will certainly thrive in their absence. An ex-BlackRock executive has said that Bitcoin will be part of everyone's portfolio, and I have to tend to agree. It should be part of everyone's portfolio at this point, even if it's only a 1% allocation. The reward so far outweighs the risk that there's just no reason not to hold at least 1% of your portfolio in Bitcoin. So over time, the market will learn this. 1% will become 5%, 5% will become 10%. At the bottom of the last bear market, there were 2 billion in stable coins in crypto waiting to be deployed. There are now currently 150 billion. So that's 75 times more money. That's a lot of dry powder, a lot of money waiting to flow into this market. And so with that said, let's kick things off with Bitcoin. We have had our entry, as you know, if you've been following the channel, we had our 62-day cycle low swing, recovery of the trend line, and now we are apparently off. I'm not seeing the type of follow through I was expecting from Bitcoin, but there's no reason to be too concerned at this point, and I do think that we will likely be making our way up to at least 25 and hopefully up into the 30 range in the not too distant future. We've got a couple of trend lines. I think these must have been from the log scale. That looks better, doesn't it? So you can see we've come perfectly in and touched the first one. So now we're getting some level of rejection, trying to flip this current level here into support before ultimately attempting to break this trend line. And then for me, if we can get above this upper trend line, then we should be off to the races. And I think 30k becomes the likely target in that scenario. For now, long and strong. Ethereum, however, quite a different story. A lot more relative strength. If you were following the channel, you know we took the long at the same time as we executed the Bitcoin long. So long and strong for now. We have, if you zoom out, broken our first trend line. And we are now right into this one, trying to decide whether we're going to flip it into support. It looks like a breakout retest and hopefully a resumption. And if that's the case, then we should be able to at least get up here. That's 2176 and potentially even as high as this trend line. So, and of course, if the initial chart was right, then we're going straight to 8k, right? I mean, that'd be nice, but for me, I'm looking to take a bit of profit off up here if we can get up here at this 2170-ish level. Otherwise, I'm going to be pushing this trade for at least a couple of weeks, I would suspect. MATIC, I am still long and strong, zero risk at this point. The stop loss, as you can see, has been taken off of MATIC, so this is fine, zero risk trade. If we can get one more push higher above $1, then I'm going to exit 15% of the position. So that's my plan, and I will push the remaining 85% to as high as I can possibly get it. But for now, it's a free trade. Worst case scenario, I get stopped out for break even. Best case scenario, lock in 15% above $1 and then see what the market can give. The dollar has taken a little bit of a pullback here. Looks kind of like it's about to touch this parabola. So will we get a bounce off of here? Will we get a chop sideways? I've been saying over and over again, I think there's about 3 weeks to 4 weeks left in this. So coming to the end of this week, so call it about 3 weeks. we shall see. Ultimately, I think the Fed will signal something that will actually put the top in. But so far, rejected at major resistance, coming in for a parabola. If we can break down from here, that would be huge for Bitcoin and crypto and gold, and equities as well. So we'll see how that goes. 10-year yields still can't really break this trend line, can they? So we'll keep an eye on that. Not quite a sign of a bottom yet for gold, but above this level here, and I'm happy to take a long. I'm also happy to take a long on a trend line break, or if we can get down and flush this red line here at 1680, then as I've said before, get a swing low down there or some sort of spring where we violate it and then recover it very quickly, then I'm happy to take a long there as well. But a little bit more patience is going to be rewarded for gold, I'm convinced of that. So, and then we'll be looking to capture one of these big moves. JD Sports. We got yesterday's candle arrived, but we've still got this sort of data issue. No real-time data. Our provider is on it. Every time I click this, it gives me a different excuse. I clicked it this morning and it said that there was an investigation underway. So I don't know. I've got no error in my brokerage account, so that's fine. Long and strong. Just see what can happen, really. UKX, again, long and strong. Aiming for the top of this range. I mostly expect with equities, with the earnings, we're going to get a little bit of chop, maybe even a retest of this trend line, and then we can go Thursday or Friday. I suspect we get some of these bigger green candles, if they're going to occur, that is. So I'll keep my eye on this. I will continue to update as appropriate. And lastly, the S&P. I think it's going to be more of the same thing. I think perhaps we get a little bit of chop, maybe we come down, maybe we don't, a little bit of chop, and then I think if we're going to break out, it's going to happen on Thursday or Friday. So ready to line up a long on Thursday or Friday if that can occur, and if we get some major sort of grind down here followed by a big rejection, then that becomes a short for me, looking for new lows. And lastly, oil is into resistance. Is this going to end up forming a swing? If so, this could be a short from here. If we can break it, it could be a long. But for now, my bias is to the downside, since the Saudis have been telling us they're going to increase production and therefore supply. So anyway, that's the trading update from me. There'll be more from me tomorrow, so make sure you're subscribed, turn the notifications on if you want to make sure you see how we deal with these markets in real time. Drop a like on the video if you haven't already, subscribe if you haven't, follow us on Twitter, and until next time, take care, all the best, cheers.